Welcome, everyone, and thanks for joining us this afternoon for a historic announcement for FC Cincinnati, the MLS club. Before today, we have 6 key members of the organization, including our first 2 MLS rostered players, who we'll introduce momentarily. From your left, we have President and General Manager Jeff Birding. Next to him, Managing Owner and FC Cincinnati CEO Carl H. Lindner III. Next to him, Fanendo Adi, who we just announced as FC Cincinnati's first MLS designated player via a trade from the Portland Timbers that was executed this morning. Next to him, we have midfielder Fatai Alashe, who's coming to us from the San Jose Earthquakes, and also both on loan, and we've acquired his MLS rights. Next to him, head coach Alan Koch, who, as we announced early last week, not only is our head coach this year, but will lead us into 2019 and beyond in MLS. And finally, all the way to the right, Luke Sassano, our technical director, who's been working behind the scenes to get these deals done. I'll first introduce Carl Lindner, who'll say a few words, then we'll go around the podium. After that, we'll open it up for questions, and we'll have the opportunity for a photo op after with both jerseys and scarves with both players. After that, if you still need it, we have the opportunity for Scrum Media behind. But with that, I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Lindner.
Well, we're thrilled to welcome 2 wonderful gentlemen to FC Cincinnati. Fanendo and Fatai are tremendous ambassadors, both on the field and off the field also in the community. We're pleased that these 2 players are the foundation as we begin to shape the inaugural MLS team, both in performance and character. We continue to be excited by the power of our fans and the draw of our city that makes FC Cincinnati a desirable destination by high-profile players, even before we enter this next MLS season.
On behalf of our city of Cincinnati and our great fan base, Fatai and Fanendo, welcome to a proud city with a great fan base and one of the best game day environments in the United States and Canada. We've been an ambitious club from day one, and our plan has always been centered around 3 key pillars: to have a winning team, to be a family-friendly club, and to be a franchise that's visible in the community. Our success is also rooted in a very strong culture that includes an extreme doggedness on competition, with strong convictions and the courage to stand apart. Adi and Fatai, winning is very important to you, and it is very important to us as well. We compete to win, not just for ourselves, but for our city. When we win, Cincinnati wins, and the world knows that Cincinnati is a winning city. But that doesn't happen through words. It happens by every day showing up, preparing to win, competing to win, and sacrificing to win. The leader role is to help make people the best that they can be. Under Alan Koch, every day, he will push you to be the best that you can be. But the great thing here is by bringing you today, you will be leaders to help push the rest of the squad as we go into Major League Soccer to make the team the best that they can be. We have a great team and great players and a great culture, but our culture embraces competition. We do believe that as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. So Fatai and Adi, we get to work now. We get to work where is together we begin to create a new legacy in this city, a new legacy together, and a legacy that's focused on competition and ultimately winning together. So thank you and welcome.
Thanks, Jeff. On behalf of the team, Fanendo, Fatai, welcome. We're very, very excited to have you guys come join us. I've had personal interaction with both of these guys, having been in Vancouver. Vancouver and Portland are rivals, so it's nice to have Fanendo leave one of the rivals that I used to work against and have him on our side now, which is incredibly exciting. So looking forward to hit the ground running and work with him and maximize his abilities. He's an outstanding career so far in the MLS and leaves a legacy behind in Portland. and gets to start a whole new chapter in his life with all of us as we continue to build and get ourselves ready for an amazing club career in the MLS. And then Fatai, I've also had interaction with. I used to be responsible for the draft in Vancouver. We wanted to draft him. Unfortunately, San Jose picked him before we had our pick when I was in Vancouver. So it's funny how the world goes around, and we're incredibly excited to have you here now, too. For a young player, he's had an excellent start to his career in the MLS, and we want to help him elevate his game and take him to the next level. And I think he has the ability to go to that next level. So on behalf of the team, we're incredibly excited to have both of you guys here. Welcome. You're going to find your time here is going to be very, very special, as we all have found coming into Cincinnati. It's an amazing city, a city with a lot of passion, and as several people mentioned to you, an amazing fan base. But welcome.
Thanks, Alan. It's been a long week, a couple different countries, a couple different states, but on behalf of on the technical side, first off, very thankful for Carl and the ownership group and Jeff for supporting our project and vision on the sporting side. And when we first went back between Alan and Jeff and myself and talked about, what kind of players we really wanted to go after, what kind of makeups, mentally, personality-wise, but also competitive-wise on the field, these two guys sitting over here were guys that we knew would embody that as we move forward, not just with our current team, but also moving forward to our next chapter. So we're really excited to welcome both Adi and Fatai to the family, and we're looking forward to working them both in the short term and long term. So thank you, everybody. We're looking forward to the game this weekend.
And with that, we will open it up for questions. So if you could just raise your hand, and Kevin will bring the mic to you.
For Fanendo and Fatai, first of all, welcome. I'm curious as to what made this opportunity attractive to both of you, jumping down to USL to play out the balance of this season and then obviously retake your rightful spots in MLS next year.
I think for me, it's just the opportunity to start something new. I think that's something special going on in this city, and you can see it just from day one that I got here. This group here that's sitting next to me is a group of great guys that have a good vision for this club, and I mean, you can see the results on the pitch have obviously been pretty good this year, and that's something that we're going to look to continue going into next year. Obviously, it's going to be difficult making that next step, but I think it's definitely on the right track so far.
Thanks for having me. First, want to say a big thank you to Carl sitting here. It's a privilege sitting next to you. Also to Jeff and to Luke and Coach Allen. They are putting a lot of effort to convince me to come here. I think I have more than 20 calls with Luke in a day and the coach. So thanks so much for bringing me here. It's an opportunity, as he said. For us, so this is football. The coach said, I left something in Portland that I was a huge part of. I could stay there, but I want a challenge, and coming here is going to be a challenge. I'm ready to work with the players. Already we have amazing players in the locker room. I came in there today and I didn't feel like I'm just a new player in there. Everyone was laughing and we're all making jokes and talking. So it's a family, and I'm very happy to be here. And I'm excited to see the fans and, to enjoy my time here. And, let's make history together, as the coach said.
For both players, what does it mean when you hear Mr. Lindner talk about you guys as the foundation of this MLS roster?
I think it's important. It definitely gives us confidence as new players coming in, knowing that we're wanted here, and this is a place that we can be comfortable in, and like you said, feel like we're at home. And again, to reiterate what he said, I know we definitely really appreciate the belief that you guys have in us, and to bring us in here to be one of the first pieces to this team is really important, and we're looking forward to it for sure.
I think he said it all. Yeah, but I mean, it's the same thing, you know. Coming here, we are not bigger than anybody, first of all. I am the same as the guys in our locker room, you know. I'm very, very pleased to be here. And Ladesma was already pulling my legs today. So, you know, we're already having fun in the locker room. But as long as we feel not above anybody, as long as we take each and every one of us to be the same, I think we will just be excellent. We're going to excel as a team. And you're going to mark my word today. We're going to be a great team. We're going to excel both in the USL and come next year. So, you know, we're just ready to work.
For Luke, Alan, or Jeff, I'm not sure who best would answer this question, but how did this opportunity for the two players present itself to you, and over what period of time did that materialize?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, sometimes in soccer, you plan for things and you think about things and you strategize, and sometimes opportunities just kind of fall on your doorstep, but you're prepared for it. And I think in both situations with Fatai and Fanendo, we were in a position to really capitalize on those opportunities. But at the same time, there's a bunch of different moving parts. You know, there's clubs that were supportive in allowing these two players to come to us, and we have to give respect in that regard. The support from ownership and from Jeff to really believe in our strategy, and also with the players, you know, them taking a bit of a risk in terms of believing in this project and willing to be a part of something that is bigger than themselves and a very unique opportunity. And I think the culture that Alan has established in the locker room, but also with our fan base in this city, is something that is going to be the envy of a lot of people in this country. So we're very excited about it. It was a process that took a lot of phone calls, not much sleep, but we're very happy that we finally got to today, and I'm looking forward to having these two join the rest of the team.
For Jeff, Alan, and Luke, what do you think the message is that you're sending to both the USL and MLS with these two acquisitions?
I don't think we're really sending a message to the USL or to the MLS, to be honest. I think we focus on ourselves, and we're sending a message to ourselves. We hold ourselves to an incredibly high standard every single day. I think that's everybody in our entire organization, and I can speak about the technical staff and our coaches and our players. We have high expectations for them. So that really is our focus, to bring in two players, and I think we've spoken about already of the talent of both these two guys, but most importantly, the character that they have. That's the message that we want to get out there. We want talented players that are fantastic characters, and that's what we focus on with the team, and that falls within what Jeff and Carl and the entire ownership group have put out from day one from this club. We want to go out and show what we can do on the field by playing good soccer, and these two guys, their characters, but also their player profiles in terms of how they play the game, fits in with how we play now and the plan that Luke mentioned in terms of moving forward. So it's interesting how things unfold, because things happen very, very quickly in this business. But these two guys fit perfectly with the vision of how we want to play and what we want to get out of each individual player. And we're excited to have both of them come join the club.
This question is for Fanendo. Portland is considered one of the most exciting environments to play in. The Timber Army is especially well known throughout the MLS. Cincinnati's been compared and referenced as the Portland of the East. How much did that play into your decision to come here?
Of course, I knew we had we Cincinnati now, right? we have a huge following here. We've got a massive fan base. So Portland was that's one of the things that convinced me to come to Portland. Of course, convincing me to come here, we talked about who is the head coach. We talked about the players in the locker room. We talked about, of course, the fan base and the fact they put average of 30 to 35,000 fans every game, that's amazing. That doesn't happen. Even in Portland, we get 26. I think that's the most we can fit in the stadium. So to be here and be in front of the fans and see a crowd of 30 to 35,000 is just amazing. You can play in a better environment than that. Of course, we have to work very hard to give the fans what they want, because we come in now is different. They want to see something. They want to see flashes, and we just have to work hard to give them the joy they deserve.
For Alan and Luke, what would you tell fans regarding a realistic timeline for integrating the two players into the team, and them being obviously able to take a role in matches?
Well, they both just got here and both had light sessions today, so we obviously have to work with the medical staff first to kind of see where they're at. But we're going to integrate them as quickly as we can. Obviously, we know, and they know too, they're coming to join a very, very good group of players right now, and I don't think I've actually showed either of them yet. We have the league standings in our players' lounge, and there's a group that they're coming to supplement and be a big part of, that have had a lot of success so far. So we'll work with the individual guys, but we'll work with the group, we'll work with the medical staff. We're not going to rush anything, obviously. We just want to make sure we make the right decisions for both individual guys, but obviously for the greater team too at the same time.
Any other questions?
Luke, you talk a lot about player profiles, and there are a lot of aspects to that. You mentioned a few just now, but specifically, what are the boxes they ticked off in terms of meeting your requirements for being a part of this project now, and especially going forward?
I think I only have a couple minutes to answer that question, but what I will say, number one, is that these guys are winners. I think they have a mentality to want to compete outside of themselves as well. And I think that's important anytime you're trying to continue off of a winning culture, is you want to continue to bring in players that have that mentality. Winning is very contagious, as I'm sure Alan will testify to that. And I think the group that we have in the locker room has shown that winning culture. And I think number one with these two players is that they're very competitive. They have a deep desire to win, to improve on a daily basis. And the influence they put on the game is from themselves. They want to get better. And that's a desire we have, and a characteristic that we want players that want to be in Cincinnati, that want to play for FC Cincinnati. And I think these two guys, along with the rest of the guys in the locker room, really exhibit that. You can see it on the field. You can see it on their faces. You can see it in the group culture. So I think those are, without diving into too many player characteristics and things like that, I would say those are the two things that really pop out and stick in my head about what attracted us to them, and obviously to help us convince them was to show that we have an established winning culture, and we want to keep that propeller going forward. So it's also a credit to these two guys to see what has been built and continue to build off of that. So.
For the players, do you think it says a lot about you guys willing to want to come play in USL as opposed to waiting and joining MLS in the team next season?
I would say that, I mean, it's a testament to our character, but at the same time, I mean, like you said, football's football, you know. We're guys that are competitive, and, you know, we just want to play the game, and that's the reason we're here. And they've put together a very good team, so, you know, we're both just excited to be able to get back out on the field.
Any other questions?
And then for Luke, do you expect additional business in the window?
I got to look at Liz when I say that. I think we have maybe one more piece to add, but we're very, very happy with our group and opportunities that have come across when you talk about Fatai and Fanendo have been very special ones, and I think we only need maybe one more special piece. So that's kind of what I would say, but we're very happy with the locker room. We're very happy with the guys we have, and we're excited to make a push for the USL Championship this year.